Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm salty?
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am the Housewife Historian, but you can call me Lindsay, and we are talking the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the Real Housewives of Miami today. It's Wednesday. Hopefully this gets uploaded, and you get this by Wednesday afternoon. We had Teresa Giudice on Watch What Happens Live. We also got more than just the trailer to the new Real Housewives of Miami. We got a hot mic moment from Lenny, Lisa's husband, soon to be ex-husband. We know we're going to see their divorce battle it out on the Real Housewives of Miami. So we're going to break that down quickly. And then I want to talk to you guys about a story that Entertainment Tonight did on Joe and Teresa Gorga. So before we get started though, guys, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn those notifications on. It's super important. It really does make a difference with my channel, with my videos, helping the algorithm. So make sure you subscribe, comment, and turn your notifications on. Let's get started. Oh, there was also a Q&A with Jackie and Margaret. I'm not sure if we'll get time to that or not. Let's go ahead and start with Teresa Giudice and Joe Gorga. There was an article going around Entertainment Tonight did an article. I'm not even lying. It was on Twitter. I went to the page. It's legitimately Entertainment Tonight. They did an article on Joe and Melissa not getting Teresa a wedding gift to Louis when she married Louis. I want to read it to you guys, a little bit of it. It's just so crazy to me. Just 1 second. Because we heard before that, well, they tried to say that Louis and Teresa were going to charge them a bill for not coming to the wedding, that allegedly they had paid for their seats and they were frustrated because they paid so much money. Now, Louis adamantly denies this and says that him and Teresa would never do something so petty as to send Melissa and Joe a bill for their wedding. However, Online is reporting 15 hours ago that Teresa Giudice reveals if her brother got her a wedding gift or not. So they must have been talking about it and Watch What Happens Live. I listened to part of it, but not all of it. It says Joe and Melissa Gorga not only skipped out on Teresa Giudice's wedding, they didn't get her a gift either. Teresa appeared on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Monday, where she revealed that her brother and sister-in-law did not send her a present following her wedding to Louis. No, Teresa said when asked if the pair got her a gift in celebration of her nuptials. The lack of a present didn't upset her, though. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star sharing that they weren't the only ones who failed to send her something to mark the occasion. According to Teresa, Ramona singer, who leaked the address of Teresa's wedding venue, also failed to send a gift. There were a few other surprises from Teresa's August wedding, but obviously we're going to be waiting on the third, the 3-part wedding series to come out. So I just thought that was really interesting that Online was covering. Teresa said a lot of things on Watch What Happens Live. Some of the things I've already said before, but I will kind of go over it. And of course, everything in this video is alleged. I've spoken to you guys before about Joe Gorga's alleged several engagements before he asked, Melissa, and him and Melissa got married after dating for about 8 months. I've explained that Teresa and her mother tried to get close to the first 2 women prior to Melissa, who Joe allegedly was engaged to, and one he canceled the wedding within a month of the wedding. So Teresa and her mother were under the assumption this whole time that Joe was going to marry these women, and they spent time trying to get to know them and build a relationship with them, and each time it kind of blew up in their face. So by the time Melissa came along, Gia was already almost 3 years old. Now, Teresa says, my brother was out my house every single day, and she basically admits that she naively thought that when he got married, that wouldn't change. She did say, however, she tried to be close to Melissa. And this part, I do think that Teresa is genuine. Okay, hear me out. I know some of you guys don't like Melissa, and that's totally fine. Or don't like Teresa, and that's totally fine. We don't all have to have the same opinion, right? Because what makes it interesting is to have a variety of opinions. So as long as we're kind in the comments and respectful, we can respectfully disagree. Please comment and let me know where you think that I could be going wrong. My opinion on that part is that by the time Melissa came along, they had already tried, they got to know these other two women, thought there was going to be weddings. There wasn't. And I think that mother-in-laws, moms of sons sometimes have a disadvantage because they know that when the son gets married, typically they're going to navigate towards the bride or the woman's mother or parents if she has them. A lot of times when women are having children, they look to their moms for advice and help and babysitters and et cetera, et cetera. Look at how close Teresa and her mother were, for example. So I think that sometimes when mothers of sons know their sons are getting married and that their daughter-in-law could potentially, have children, they tend to be very kind, very gracious to them because they know in the end, ultimately, how much they see their grandchildren could have to do with, sorry guys about that, how much you see your grandchildren could have to do with your relationship with your daughter-in-law. So a lot of times I think you can see moms who aren't exactly willing and they're willing, they just don't want to always be as gracious and kind and forgiving, but because of the situation and because it's their son getting married and their son's wife, they let things slide. So regardless, Joey and Melissa get married. There's a lot of allegations surrounding whether Melissa actually was dating Joe Gorga's best friend at the time. Check out my other series, guys. I did a 3-part series. It's not even finished yet on the Gorgas if you want some information about that, but allegedly she was dating his best friend. That anyways, they meet, they move in together within like 6 weeks. Joe has like this $1 million house. They get married in 8 months. Now, Teresa says on Watch What Happens Live Monday night that she used to call Melissa every day. But like Teresa said, I had a 3-year-old, so I was up and moving around early in the morning, and she's like, I would call Melissa, and before they got married, she would answer my phone calls. And she's like, but after they got married, Joe, came to me and said, look, Trey, like Melissa sleeps in the mornings, yada, yada, yada. So I do think that Teresa tried to be a sister-in-law to Melissa, and I think that Teresa did want a sister that she never had. She said that she wanted that in Melissa, but we don't know if that's really true or not. I think that Teresa doesn't have a big family and she doesn't have any sisters, and she made the comment, and I've said this in my other 3 series, that Melissa already had 2 sisters. So she didn't really care if she had another sister. It wasn't as important to have a good relationship with Teresa because she wasn't in need of a sister. She already has 2, and she has her mother and her parents. So I think that on that scale, with Melissa being young, there's about 7 years between Melissa and Teresa. We looked it up yesterday on my live with Housewives and Chit Chat. You guys should definitely go check that live out. It was great. It was funny. We had a blast. Go check her out on Instagram and YouTube as well. But it's just something to consider. There was 7 years between them. So Melissa's 26, Teresa's in her early 30s. She's starting to have kids. Regardless, I do think the intent for Teresa was to be sisterly with Melissa, regardless of what happened. Andy Cohen also, since we're talking about it, might as well get through it quickly. Sorry guys, I'm on a time limit this morning, like always. Andy was shocked with Teresa. I mean, English is her second language, so sometimes she struggles with keeping up with what like words and stuff mean. They did a game where they asked her like what the definition of certain words were, and I didn't know what half of them were either. So I'm not gonna judge her on that. Other people on Twitter were having a field day with it. Me personally, I didn't know what half the words meant either. And I think Andy Cohen felt the same way because he was just like, we're done with this game. We're just done with this game. Teresa also somehow kind of gets it out of Andy that there's going to be new housewives, like plural with an S. We had Marge and Jackie do a Q&A. I'm going to include this because it'll just take a few minutes. Jackie and Marge did a Q&A. I think it was in New York City. We saw a couple of clips of it. At one point, Jackie says, F you, Bethany Frankel, and F your skinny brand. And then at another point, Margaret does say there are some new housewives. Teresa does have some new lap dogs. You guys can go back and watch the video. I could probably play it for you if you wanted me to. That is what I saw in the video. And so then Danielle, who is allegedly one of the new housewives coming on, she's a very beautiful blonde, and she has 2 children. She's married. She seems like your average housewife, okay? Like, she seems like what Teresa probably was 20 years ago. Young, keeping up with her kids, keeping up with everything, you know, nice house, nice husband, nice job, and all of that. So really, I see a lot of Teresa in Danielle. She also picked to come on and be Team Teresa, right? Do you guys remember? I did some videos on this before. Producer told Teresa and Danielle, go out, double date, take pictures, have fun, and get to know each other, because you're bringing her in as your friend and some, you know, support. And then, guys, let's talk really quickly about the Real Housewives of Miami. I'm definitely going to be doing a deep dive on all of these ladies. Miss Leah Black, Larsa Pittman. I got pictures from Larsa from the 80s, guys. I've been holding on to share them with you. I cannot wait to talk Miami. But really quickly, just because I'm like running a little bit short on time here, I want to talk about the fact that Lenny was hit with a hot mic moment. They aired it on Watch What Happens Live last night, and it was good, okay? It was really, really good. So it wasn't good what he said, but it's going to be a good season, okay? I don't know who Vito is, and I know that a lot of my subscribers don't have Instagram, they don't have Twitter, so I'm here to kind of keep you guys up to date with what was going on. I would love to play it for you, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm just going to talk about it for a few minutes, and then I'll upload some more details later. Now, because I don't know exactly who was in the conversation, and I don't want to deal with any issues from YouTube. There is a conversation that is allegedly hot mic'd, and it is between Lenny and a gentleman named Vito. It seems like they're filming. They're filming at Lenny and Lisa's house. The ladies are outside taking photos, and they start to discuss the marriage. And Lenny says he goes wherever and does whatever he wants. It's always been like that. And whoever he's talking to, Vito says, well, like, do you guys talk about divorce? And Lenny says, every day. And Vito says, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry. I would not want to ever see that happen. And Lenny's like, I do. Wow. It was so powerful that they went on Watch What Happens Live. It was like so heavy that everyone was like, ooh, bad timing. That did not hit right, Andy. Not a great time to come out with a hot mic moment with Lenny talking about how his marriage is over, and it's been over, and they've been talking about divorce. Leah Black is allegedly coming back to help support Lisa because, you know, Lisa doesn't have a lot of family, and that's what kind of breaks my heart for her. But she's going to have Larsa. They blew down on this man in the club when he was in there with his new boo thing, who's like 24 years old. Like, Larsa gives Lisa a little bit of backbone. She gives Lisa the, like, push that Lisa needs to be a strong, independent woman and not think that she needs Lenny or his plastic surgery business to get by in life. That's not what defines her. I think that that's what's defined Lisa for a long time, was Lenny, the boob god doctor, the rich husband. And she grew into that because she was very young when they got together. She doesn't have a lot of family and a lot of different influence. She doesn't. So I like the fact they're bringing Leah Black. She's going to be a little bit more nurturing to Lisa, and she's supposed to be coming back to help Lisa get his money, honey. I'm just saying that's what the word on the curb is, okay? So we're definitely going to stay tuned. But I hope that you guys have a great day. Stay tuned for some more videos. I'm going to be doing Miami. I got to go into New Jersey a little bit more in depth about Jackie and Marge's Q&A. So hang out and wait for the uploads. And I hope that you guys have an amazing Wednesday, and we'll talk soon. Bye.